So it's no secret that unfortunately racism has run rampant in pro wrestling over the years. Specifically in WWE, where racists have either been pushed to the top of the card, or they've alternatively had their fair share of pretty racist storylines. And maybe most famously, we had the owner of the company literally say the N-word on TV.
What's good in the hood?
Just hold it down, trying to take care of business.
Keep it up. I'm a nigga.
I still can't believe that happened. But the other day when the Dudley boys were with Hey Guys, Maven here, Devon Dudley discussed experiencing racism in WWE in the late 1990s, with many speculating who he could be talking about.
From the first day that we ever got together, that we ever experienced, or you ever experienced racism?
No, I didn't experience it when we were together because of the fact that when we got together, we were in ECW. And in ECW, I did not experience it. I experienced it in WWE. You know, I experienced it with certain top officials who I don't really want to go and say any names because I feel...
Say names. Say names.
Well, you know, I'm just going to say it like this, you know. You know, I didn't wear a 10-gallon hat or anything, but my point was, you know, when a person...
No Sooners!
Yeah, but when a person comes up to you and tells you that they don't like you because of the color of your skin, and you're sitting up there going, wow, really? We're in 1999, 2000, and you're still coming to me and saying crap like this? There were certain people in that organization in that time that felt that I should not have said anything, who had power to basically bury me if need be, just because I might have stood up for what I felt was right.
Now, given the go Sooners, you instantly go to good old JR Jim Ross. Although some others are thinking Michael P.S. Hayes because of the mention about the tall hat. Others even thought maybe it could have been JBL, but given that Bradshaw was still an acolyte at the time, there's no way he would have been in power or had that kind of influence in 1999. So it is a bit jarring thinking about the guy that signed the likes of the legendary Edge or all these legends and had a real eye for talent and gave us all these legendary commentary moments over the years. It's definitely disappointing to think that he might have been this guy towards Devon Dudley. Then, we've got to go ahead and talk about the drama surrounding Mox and Darby from AEW's WrestleDream this weekend. Sarah Stock, a former producer and coach for AEW, spoke against the fish tank spot in that match, saying, quote, "You know who should stop this? Mothers, with their remote control. This is worse than the plastic bag over the head. Kids are going to end up dead trying this stuff at home at AEW. I'm gonna be honest with you, Sarah. I respect that you used to work at the company. You are absolutely entitled to your opinion. However, if your child is so impressionable to try this and for some reason is allowed to watch a pay-per-view mostly made for adults or an older audience, that's on the parent. And I'm well aware that there are still kids that will watch AEW and do watch AEW. I mean, Darby Allin high-fived a kid on his way back up the ramp after this match, but that should be a conscious decision you as the parent are making. You're well aware of what AEW's product can contain by now, especially on pay-per-view. So in my opinion, you as the parent need to go ahead and make crystal clear to this kid, don't try this at home, don't try this anywhere. These are highly trained professionals, okay? Rey Mysterio had surgery 5 times in his left knee. Please. Don't try this. But it certainly doesn't fall on AEW to parent their product or make their product less violent just because a kid may fall upon it. There's tons of not child-friendly content online and on TV. Does that mean the entire internet and the entire TV networks need to be policed? Wife of the late great Brody Lee, Amanda Huber, weighed in on this too, saying, quote, "This was midnight on a pay-per-view. Meanwhile, when you were working, you choked another woman out with a belt. Where was the outrage over kids trying that? And you want to quote tweet a video of me talking about kids' grief to defend you being a hypocrite? Fuck all the way off." And So I would be interested to know what all of you think about this. Does the fault lie with AEW or the parents? Then, we've got to talk about the drama surrounding a fan at Smackdown the other day. He brought a sign simply saying, "Paige come home," only for it to be confiscated. Which is crazy, by the way, because the other side of his sign said oil up Santi, so I guess even the WWE wants it to happen. I mean, at this point, Saraya, formerly known as Paige, would respond on Twitter by saying, oop, but she was fine with it, saying, quote, I don't want anybody getting in trouble on my behalf. Very sweet to show the love nonetheless. It's amazing the support I still have in the wrestling world means the world to me. Then we have a wonderful update from Sami Zayn. Zayn reportedly made the call to drop the United States Championship to Ilja Dragunov, which is a huge W Zayn moment. In just 49 days, Sami Zayn had one of, if not the best US title reigns of the decade. I also have to address this situation with Ilja Dragunov and Lee Laurel from season 1 of LFG. Lee made their relationship public on Twitter the other day, only for many to point out that Dragunov's wife was in a vignette just a couple years ago. Many very quick to throw around the cheating allegations. Laurel responded by saying, quote, his ex-wife and I are on amicable terms. They have a healthy co-parenting relationship. They are divorced. I won't stand for defamation, so cut out your facetious assumptions. They separated, they're divorced, and everything's fine as long as the kid is still getting taken care of. I think that's the most important thing here, and otherwise, it's none of our business. Then we have a reassuring update around WWE using AI for creative. The WWE creative team is of the impression that the new hire is being brought in to find ways to help using AI to remove background noise of different shots, or organize files quickly, or work on production elements as opposed to creative storylines. AI is not replacing the creative team. A top talent said Michael P.S. Hayes, Paul Heyman, and Ed Koskey are not AI, and took exception to the belief that AI storylines were going to happen. To me, it wouldn't surprise me if they cooled off it for now to calm people down, but I still think the AI integration will return in a bigger manner later on. I think more so because TKO's obsession with budgets and profits is going to get worse. They're going to get to a point like most companies where they will realize that AI can do the person's job, so suddenly it is. I just hope some company isn't working on a Deonte DDJI, because if they are, good luck, Charlie. Then we have a brief update on the Andrade situation in AEW. Tony Khan has commented on the ongoing non-compete situation between Andrade and WWE.
I would echo sentiments I had said at World's End 2023 when Andrade initially left a few years ago, and I would say that I have a ton of respect for Andrade El Idolo. I think he's an amazing wrestler, and I think that when he left in 2023, it was on a very high note. Just to reiterate everything I said at his departure a few years ago, and I still feel that way. And I think Andrade is a great wrestler, and I'm excited to see what's next for him.
He basically said a bunch of nothing, but I guess that's all he can say right now. I imagine if there is a bigger suit coming here between WWE/TKO and Andrade, then it's a bit of a sticky situation. Then we have an update around Jacob Fatu's injury where I have to say I am sorry. I spoke a few days back about the report, which was from a previously credible source, by the way, but the report was that Jacob Fatu would probably be out for a chunk of 2026. But the word among talent at Smackdown was that Jacob Fatu was recovering from a dental procedure and was not yet cleared to wrestle. The hope is that he will be back very soon. The way that initial report sounded, though, it was like it was going to be something much more serious than dental surgery. In reality, all that's happened is Jacob Fatu got put on that bloodline dental plan and he's about to come out with some Roman Reigns-esque veneers like Tribal Chief! Jacob Fatu about to be on that Brian Griffin. You know that one episode of Family Guy where he gets the new shiny huge teeth? He's gonna be like... Then, some people in WWE were strongly against bringing back Brock Lesnar, and it was said that some women on the staff were even more unhappy, with one using the term privately disgusted. There was the belief Lesnar's return provided a momentary live pop, but even though fan reaction in the building was not a negative, many production team members don't believe he moved the needle past the first week. And many felt this segment with R-Truth was embarrassing, which, yeah, it was. It's further reported that there was no discussion with staff regarding the lawsuit or allegations, which to me is so shitty of this company. Even if he is proven innocent, which he still hasn't been, by the way, minimum you have to address the elephant in the room in this situation, because it's a pretty big elephant. Then Vince McMahon made his appearance at court for his reckless driving case last week, where he was seen autographing for fans in a very puzzling scene, and I'd be remiss not to talk about that hair because
give that guy some Dorito chips.
And in terms of the verdict of his court appearance. According to TMZ, his charges will be dropped in a year if he can, quote, keep his nose clean in accelerated pre-trial rehabilitation. Which is quite fitting because that sounds like a very Vince McMahon WWE era term. Yes, go ahead and complete your accelerated pre-trial rehabilitation at the local medical facility. McMahon is also being asked to donate $1,000 to charity and drive lawfully, which feels like the biggest let-off in the world because, oh no, the billionaire needs to drop $1,000 and go under the radar. Big whoop. Then, not only were there future plans to make Airbnb the tag team champions before Seth Rollins got hurt, but prior to Rollins' injury, there were reportedly talks backstage that Austin Theory would be joining the Vision at Saturday night's main event to set up his place in War Games. Listen, I understand that most of you don't care for Austin Theory anymore, but I personally think there is still something there with him. I think you can still go ahead and make him a star, although they have done everything in their power to halt his momentum time and time again. But I still think there is something there, and it is a bit of a shame that this opportunity has been stalled for him because of one reason or another. Then, Zoey Stark has provided an update on her recovery from her injury.
What's up, guys? Just wanted to hop on here and give everyone a quick update. From the last video, one of the reasons why I was having a hard time was because I was told that either I would have to get a scope done, which is where they go in, clean out my knee, any scar tissue, or two, get a manipulation under anesthesia. One of the reasons being is because I didn't have full range of motion, and that would have pushed my recovery back, and that's why I was so upset and having a really hard time with it. But now we're back on track. That did not have to happen, thank God. Now I'm running, I'm jumping, I have full range of motion. Things are going great, honestly. I'm happy, I'm blessed. I really, really can't wait to get back into the ring and get back to you guys. So, that's all. Stark, out.
I wish you the best, Zoey, in your further comeback. I can't wait to hear that truly underrated theme song again. Because Zoey Stark's theme song, Word to Trick Willie, let's talk about it. Now, it's been a while since I talked about Karrion Kross, but he literally launched a woman into the ceiling at an indie show recently. No exaggeration. Then, Mercedes Mone has her 12th belt. Yep, another one. She defeated Jody Threat to win the WPW Women's Championship. I love Mercedes, I do, but what's the end game here? I see people saying, oh, she's bringing more awareness to these smaller promotions, she's bringing eyes to these smaller indies, but realistically, how many of Mercedes' 12 belts can you really name? Like, out of Ultimo Mone right now, I think of AEW and I think of Mercedes Mone. I don't think of all these random other indies. So what benefit is she bringing to any of these smaller promotions? What would have made the most sense, in my opinion, is if Mercedes was still 9 belts Mone, and her hunt for the AEW Women's World Championship was the 10th belt, but she had to really scratch and claw to get it. And I hate slandering Mercedes because she's so damn good, I just don't understand the benefit of her winning all these belts, other than inflating her own ego and the benefit of AEW over the smaller promotions. That's my opinion. Anyway, I'm trying to hit 250,000 subscribers, so subscribe and tell a friend about this channel. Bye!